It's Divas That Care Radio. Stories, strategies, and ideas to inspire positive change. Welcome to Divas That Care, a network of women committed to making our world a better place for everyone. This is a global movement for women, by women, engaged in a collaborative effort to create a better world for future generations. To find out more about the movement, visit divasthatcare.com after the show. Right now, though, stay tuned for another jolt of inspiration.
Magical day to all. Welcome to Divas That Care Network. I am Joyce Benning, and I will be your host for this magical, robust lifestyle show. I would first like to thank each one of our listeners that has tuned in live today and the ones that will be listening to the recording on the numerous podcasts. I am so very grateful and thankful for each and every one of you. And as I said, you are in for a magical show today, as I have with me a returning incredible diva that is such a true diva. She is so service to others. Her name is Angie Payne, and her and I are going to chat about equine therapy. Oh my, am I excited for this show. With that, Angie, could you please introduce yourself to our listeners today?
Well, good morning, I guess, from Calgary or just outside of Calgary, Alberta. I'm Angie. I'm a counseling therapist and the founder of Equine Enrichment, and I am a lifelong student of the horse. I have 3 children, 5 grandchildren, and a thriving practice.
Oh, I love that. And I love that you're a lifelong student of the horse. Oh, that is just beautiful. It just totally fits right in with what we're going to chat about today on equine therapy. Because you are saying that you are a student learning from the horses also. And I so agree with you because I learn something new from them every day just by being around them. They just fill me so much. So
they sure do,
Angie,
yeah.
Oh, they do. How would you like to start our chat today and sharing with our listeners about equine therapy?
Well, I guess I can start by saying that about 20 years ago, so I have a partner right now. His name is Romeo. He just turned 25 years old, and he and I have been together for 25 years. And I would say that he is, I've had horses my entire life. They've kind of always been in my life. But Romeo was the one that really, I guess, for lack of a better word, forced me to take a good look at myself. And take the time and the opportunity to do some of my personal work. And so, it was really in that moment that I started to become really curious about the fact that horses actually want to help us. For lots of years in my life, I just thought I was going around the world saving horses and doing all the good things for them. And it was not until Romeo came into my life that I realized that, I actually think that they're on this planet to help us. And maybe they had to, come into our lives and have saddles and bridles and get us to start engaging in relationship with them in that way. But I really think the deeper purpose of horses is to help us get out of some of the human parts of us that can really keep us stuck in life. So it was then that I realized that I needed to go and do some of my personal work and heal some of my wounds and my pains. But along the way, I also really got curious about what it is between horses and people and how horses show up in a way that allows people to do their personal work in a really beautiful, powerful, and engaging way. So I have been now working with people co-facilitating therapy with horses for 12 years. And I just think about this so much. I see what I call magic, but there's got to be some science to it as well. But from my perspective as the coach or therapist with the people and the horses, I just feel like I witness magic every single day. And I'm still trying to put it into words that make sense because, it's really hard to put my finger on what it is they actually do. But I maybe am getting closer to thinking that they first of all allow people to, take a breath and come into their body. If we think about pain and trauma, it actually happens in our body. And so it really needs to heal through our body. And the only way we can do that is to come into contact with our body and our heart and what the deeper truth is for us. Horses do it in a loving way, in a compassionate way, in a non-judgmental way, which really allows people to feel safe very quickly. So feeling safe really quickly actually allows personal work to be done faster. And so a lot of times people aren't in therapy with us for long periods of time, for years or anything like that. They're here with us for maybe 8 to 10 sessions, and then sometimes we don't ever see them again, or sometimes we see them a little bit down the road as, new life experiences come up and they need to process those things. So I feel like I'm getting closer to being able to explain it, but I don't know. Every time I watch them work, something new comes into my mind.
Oh, that is so beautiful, because I can speak from my own experiences with having the horses just bring you into, like you said, heal through our body and our heart. And they allow us to come into our body where the wounds, where the trauma really lies deep down inside, and to help bring it out, because they are magical. And when you said that, it's just magic happening. I always call my horses, I say, you're magical. There's just no other words to say it, because what they do to help me through so many different things, it's absolutely amazing how they help you through your challenges in life. And I have had readings done on all three of my horses, and one of them stopped the lady that was doing the reading. She said, I could hardly hear anything else he said, because what he said, I have a human within my care. And she said, oh my goodness, that it just goes to show how the horses are here to care for us and to help us through life's challenges. So yeah, some of those things came into mind, and I just kind of wanted to add that to what you are saying, because I've experienced it myself in so many ways with my three horses.
I do think that's so true, Joyce. Like they move in the world so differently than we do. Mm-hmm. And I find myself many times saying things like, if I could just be a little bit more like a horse every day, I may very well be on the right track. They allow things to move through them. They don't question, their response to it or their reaction to it. And then they certainly don't apologize for it either. So, we see horses probably a number of times in the day maybe move through the entire cycle of trauma, where they feel something's unsafe. They move it through their body by sometimes running or freaking out or rearing or whatever that might look like in the moment. And then once they establish that they're actually safe, you'll see them, roll or yawn, shake, and they have moved it all the way through their body, and they're back to that place of homeostasis. And unfortunately, we don't do that as humans, because a lot of times it's not safe to let things move through our body. And so those places of pain or unsaid words or unexpressed emotions get stuck in our body. And that is actually where the trauma comes. It's the thing that happened, yes, and that is a traumatic event, but it's also what happens after that. Do we get a chance to process it, or don't we? And if we don't, that's where the anxieties and the depressions and all of that comes from, is that it's stuck in our body and it has not yet been processed. And so, horses can really point that out and bring people to a place where maybe they've never been before, or maybe they've said things that they've never said before. But because there's this incredible safe space provided by horses, I actually get to do my work, and that safety piece has already been put into place just by having a horse present, which then makes my job quite a bit easier because I can ask those questions that deepen it for the client and help them process it through. So I'm grateful every day to be able to work beside the horses. And, in the work that we do, we call it equine co-facilitated therapy, because the horse is actually my partner in the process. So they're there for the client, but the horse and I are working in tandem together to make sure that the session has brought the client to a place where they can process something that's been hard for them.
Yes. Oh, that is so beautiful how the horse is your partner, and they create that safe place for your client to feel that they can open up and help release those stuck traumas, stuck challenges in their life, to let them out. And I love how you said that. The horse creates the safe place, because I feel the safest around my horses, because they do create that beautiful safe place, and their hearts are so big that they're always ready to give. They're always ready to create that space and give the love and care that they know us humans are needing at that time.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I feel like they want us to feel like they do, this sort of, they're not thinking about what happened yesterday. They're not thinking about what could happen tomorrow. They're just in the moment eating grass, or in the moment with the client and helping them move it through. And, I think also they bring a little bit of humor to it as well. So we're doing really hard work sometimes, and our clients are in a really vulnerable space. But every once in a while, a horse will do something, and it just brings a little bit of humor and levity and lightness to it, which, again, I think helps. It's serious work, and sometimes we can giggle at ourselves or something's happening. I know there are times where, it's like a truck backing up. I always beep, 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 when a big truck backs up. But a horse is backing into somebody, to help them feel grounded. And,
yes.
Some clients are a little bit like, whoa, what's happening? Especially if they're not horse people. But the horse is just trying to help them feel grounded and take a deep breath and come back into their body. And I know that I've giggled about that many times, and so have my clients. So, yay, we get to have a little bit of a giggle and then go back to that really hard work and that vulnerable place. So,
yes. Oh, and when you say that about horses do certain things, and a couple of my horses are really good at this. It's almost like they know when I need a hug. I'll come up to them and they'll wrap their neck around me and put their head on me, and it's just like, oh my, you guys just read me. I needed that love and hug right at that moment, and there they are. Or I have one that he loves to kiss. He'll put his lips right on my face, and he gives you a kiss, and he knows at what time I need that. He doesn't do it all the time, but it's just, they know. And when you step into that magic that they offer you, it is just totally amazing and incredible. And yes, it makes you smile from your heart all the way up to your face.
Yeah, you betcha. And I also feel like they, well, I don't know about other horses, but for an example, Romeo, you know, if I go out to the pasture and we don't have clients, but I'm coming to hang with them and I'm like, hey, buddy, how's it going? And, you know, I might be perceiving on the outside, oh, everything's great, but the truth of me inside might not be the same. And he will turn around and walk away like, holy, if you know, if you're just going to go around the world like we have to do sometimes as humans, you know, how are you good? How are you good? It's not always safe to say, whew, I'm having a really hard time. So, you know, if I walk into the pasture and I'm presenting something that I'm not actually feeling, he will turn and walk right away. But then if I take a deep breath and just let him know the truth of what's going on, which he already knows, he'll turn around and come back. It's like, okay, now we can be together, because, you know, a human as a predator feeling one way on the inside and presenting something totally different on the outside doesn't often feel very safe for a horse. It's like a predator, you know, pretending they're not hungry. And so that wouldn't feel particularly safe. But as soon as, you know, I speak my truth or client speaks their truth, it's amazing how horses will come in and really provide those hugs or that place of safety or that, you know, strong shoulder to lean on. It can be so very powerful.
Yes. Oh, that is so true. And like you said, he walks away from you when you are trying to put that smile on your face, and that's not really how your heart feels. And they know. Mine have done that so many times. It's like, no, when you decide to show your true self, then I'm here for you. But if you're putting on the fake smile that in this world we so many times need to do or think we need to do, they're like, no, that's not you. I know what's going on with you. So when you're ready to reveal that, then we can work together. That is so true. And to me, there's magic in that, too, because they know us so well.
Right. I've seen our horses give a little nudge to somebody, you know, like just kind of not push them hard, but kind of nudge their heart or something like that, and that really gives me a beautiful opportunity to just ask the question, if you were to check in with your heart, what would be the truth of that, right? And so they're guiding me so that I can maybe put the words around what they might be doing. So it just I don't know, they get away with a lot more than I ever would get away with people. You know, it wouldn't really be appropriate for me to, I don't know, take my nose and push somebody with it. But horses get away with it. And people will listen to the guidance of a horse for some reason. And I guess, again, it might come right back down to that safety piece, that they feel completely safe. Horses don't use words. They use their body language or their energy. And, there are times, Joyce, where my sessions don't even have words. Like there's nothing happening, or it might look like there's nothing happening. Let's say a younger person might want to say something, but they can't do it with me there, or they're not quite sure how to put the words around it. But they can sure have the conversation with a horse in a way that they can get it out. They don't have to speak to me, but they can kind of energetically or whisper to the horse, and they can get it out of their body, but nobody else needs to hear. And so it's equally as powerful. Like, it's about getting those emotions or those words out, our truth, so that they no longer take up space in our body.
Yes. Oh, Angie, I've been getting chills through a lot of this conversation because it's just touching my heart, because I always say my horses and my dog know me way better than anybody else does, because I can share with them what I am feeling, how I am feeling, the challenges in my life, and it just feels better to be able to get it out and know that they understand where I'm coming from. And it's a trust, it's a safety, like you said. I feel totally safe to be able to share it with them. And I know that they are there to give back the love and understanding that I need in that. So, yeah,
that's right.
That is just beautiful.
Yeah, you can say anything to them, even things that you feel, oh, if I said that out in the world, there'd be judgment or blah, blah, all of the human things that we go through. But you can say anything to a horse, and they will not go back to their pasture and tell their friends. They will just keep that. Well, they don't hold on to it, but it can flow through them, and it's not anything that people have to feel ashamed of. There's so much shame in the world. If I say this, oh my God, the judgment, or I feel so ashamed that I feel this way, or I feel so ashamed I did this thing. But with a horse, you can actually say that, and it just goes out into the ether. I remember I was doing a piece for a person a few years ago now, and it was around shame. And sometimes I used tools, so we had all these blankets laying in the sand, and they all represented things that this person was carrying for somebody else, actually. It didn't even really belong to my client. And there was this beautiful pink blanket that we had put down that represented shame. And I had a little miniature horse in the round pen with the client. And he mooched around at all the blankets, of all the things that she had identified. And he came to the little pink blanket that represented shame. And he straddled it and he peed on it.
Oh.
So, what came up was, I guess I can't really pick that back up again. That's kind of gross, right?
Yeah,
but how did he know? I don't train my horses to pee on blankets or anything like that. How did he know? I really don't know. But the power of that little gesture from that little horse meant everything to the client, because they literally couldn't pick shame up again. They couldn't.
Right.
And that was really powerful for the client, just the idea of leaving that in the sand and not taking it with my client was very powerful.
Oh, that would have been very powerful. That is a beautiful story, and sharing that, and it just shows the magic that the horses have, because the horse knew exactly what the client needed to let go of. Oh, that's beautiful, Angie. Angie, this show has gone way too quickly. I cannot believe we are coming to a close already. You and I know we could talk for hours and share experiences about how horses have helped us and the magic we see in these horses. So before we do close this show, would you please share with your listeners the best ways that they can connect with you?
Oh, sure. There's a couple of ways. So I am on Facebook and Instagram under Equine Enrichment. And I have a website that is equineenrichment.com. And they can get a hold of me on any of those three spaces. Oh, perfect, Angie. That is just a great way to connect with you. And I would also like to ask if you would be a guest and share more of your knowledge again in the future on my Robust Lifestyle show, because you have so much to share. This has just been an incredible show today. Well, absolutely. As you said, we could probably talk horses for days. So. I know we could. There's no doubt.
Oh, that's great. I'm excited to have you back on, and we can share more about horses and experiences and the magic that they give all of us. And with that, I would like to wish you and your horses magic in each and every day until you and I connect again on this Robust Lifestyle Show.
Oh, thank you so much, Joyce, for having me.
You are so welcome. And I would like to thank all of our listeners for listening to this magical show with our absolutely incredible diva, Angie Payne. Please share this show with your family and friends. Check out all the other hosts and their shows on divasthatcare.com. And remember some of the golden nuggets that Angie left with us about equine therapy. Horses are absolutely magical. They are her partner. They are my partner. And they can help in so many ways. They allow us to come into our bodies and heal through our body and our heart. And remember, horses are non-judgmental. So what you tell them, they do not judge you. It stays with them. And with that, I want to wish each and every one of you a very magical day. Remember, be kind to all, including all the animals. And give your animals that great big extra hug and share all your love with them as they so deserve it. Until we connect again on Robust Lifestyle, stay strong and healthy.
Thanks for listening. This show was brought to you by Divas That Care. Connect with us on Facebook, on Instagram, and of course on divasthatcare.com, where you can subscribe to our newsletter so you don't miss a thing.